Fire Guy Ryan's top 10 picks in the MCU.
Correct.
Comic books that have been adapted to the screen. Superhero narratives such as Iron Man.
Such as
Ant-Man and Black Panther, all of which were on my top 10 list during the last podcast. But I posed a question to Ryan and a challenge, because this whole challenge kind of was orchestrated by Very Gary Comics. You know, you got to be following him, and then Jem Min did it. And we asked Ryan, after I shared my top 10 pick, if you can bring back your top 10 pick, come back, and we can go through it one by one.
And that was like a month ago, right? We had several delays from the holidays, and then there was like an apocalyptic snowstorm.
We got snowed in, Comic Fam.
Yeah, we had to push this show off, and I kept procrastinating doing my top 10 list until like 12 hours ago.
So let me tell you about this first before we get to Ryan's top 10 MCU movies, because we don't see eye to eye when it comes to movies, man, especially in the MCU. Horror movies, you know.
We're pretty good on that.
Yeah, we're good on that. Simpatico indeed. But the sponsor of the show, we have Whatnot Comics. Whatnot is the app available for both Androids and iOS. The best new place to buy and sell collectibles, funny books, expensive paper, affordable paper, posters, records, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, Funko Pops. The list goes on.
People's dogs?
I don't think, I've heard that they're going to get into the pet sector of collectibles, but we're not doing that here yet.
Not yet.
I don't know. I think that there was some consideration. Maybe it was a rumor. Don't hold me to it, but I don't think you can get a pet on auction yet.
Bid on, that'll be fun.
Yeah, bid on birds.
Right?
I want to see Ryan go live on Whatnot with a bunch of birds.
I found them.
Yeah.
And I'm selling them. It's the hustle. It's part of the hustle.
It's all part of the Comic Fam. Yeah. But more importantly, they are the sponsor of our show, sponsor of this podcast. And you can follow me over on Whatnot, along with so many other amazing dealers, vetted sellers in the industry, a platform that has brought so many members of the comic community from Instagram and Facebook all to one place where you can go support them directly and enjoy auctions that start as little as $1 that last as little as 60 seconds long. You can join me, Milgeek Comics, Jem Mint from Jem Mint Collectibles, Danielle from Nerdy Girl Comics, Rage Theo, Skeleton Key, shout out Sammy and Tony. My dad's on there, Comic Pops. It's pretty cool. He got back into comics this last year. I feel good about it. But you can hit the link in the description, join me over on Whatnot Comics, and enjoy a free $10 off when you click the link in the description. You support our show, we get $10, and you get $10 to buy some comic book goodness. I think it's pretty cool.
It's $10 all around.
$10. You get $10, I get $10,
my favorite
they get $10.
Number. My favorite amount of dollars.
All right, Comic Fam. We're talking Fire Guy Ryan in the house, and he has been up for days.
Sweating over this top 10 list.
Dude, you've texted me a few times. You're telling me I'm getting a little nervous. And I'm like, why? What's wrong, Fire Guy Ryan? It's not that big of a deal. The Comic Fam's going to understand your picks. I'm sure there's people who agree with you.
I hope so. I don't know if you will on some of these. And honestly, I don't even remember the order. I settled on this very late last night, right before I was falling asleep, barely the last minute.
So legit, this is the first movie that Ryan picked. I do have the order, and this list is not something I was privy to.
Correct.
I can see the number 10 on the screen, but this is the last one that I will be spoiled because I will be transitioning it on the screen where it doesn't show me. Because it's all about honesty. This is an authentic reaction because I want to hopefully challenge Ryan here because I just have been super confused about his superhero tastes.
I was kind of surprised at Tom's list from our last show, which you need to go check out if you haven't already. Tom had different picks than I do.
I put Thor Ragnarok at number 10.
Yes, which
I know that's on your list.
Every other rational person in the universe says is a bonehead maneuver. But
well, this list is not about me. But what I will say is my number 10 was Thor Ragnarok, and my number 1 was Captain America, the first Avengers. So let's see how the lists stack up. And I want to hear from the community in the comment section because we do giveaways during this show. But you got to be here live with us because we shout it out from the chat. And if you want to enjoy this podcast separately, if you can't be joining us live or you don't have time to watch our faces, you can find the audio versions only. You can find the audio only version on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. And number 10 on Ryan's list is Iron Man number 3. And first off, I'm appreciative that you put this on your list at number 10 because this wouldn't be on most people's top 10 list. It would be at the bottom. And this definitely made my top 10.
that was the reason I had even considered it, honestly, because you made such a good argument for this movie on your top 10 list.
Okay.
And when I was making my list, I did all the other ones. And then when I got to number 10, I looked at the rest of the MCU. And I had the thought, like, which movies, out of all these movies left, which ones would I watch, more than once? And this one was the best out of my least favorites, if that makes sense. Out of all the ones that didn't make the list, this one just barely made it on here at number 10. Iron Man 3 is a lot better than people give it credit for.
Totally agree. Next on the list.
Next up.
I approve. Ryan, so far, if it's going to keep up like this, I'm approving. Okay, so you put Black Panther number 1
right
on the list. And I applaud this. I am surprised it's so low.
Yeah. I'm honestly, maybe if I had done this a little earlier before like bed last night, I might have been able to iron out the placement of these a little better, maybe.
Why is Black Panther on the list?
Why is it even on the list? Mostly because of Michael B. Jordan, if I'm being 100% transparent. Like, I think he elevates this movie to a completely different, like, dimension. Like, his portrayal of Killmonger and the origin story of not just... You don't get an origin story. Chadwick's already Black Panther. Black Panther is set. T'Challa is good to go as Black Panther in this movie. This shows you Killmonger's story, which I appreciate a lot more. I'm definitely drawn to villains. Maybe because I'm such a bad boy.
Ryan's a bad boy. We got to stop calling Donny Cates the bad boy of comics. We know he doesn't like it. It's kind of weird to even say. You hear that, Bleeding Cool? FireGuyRyan is the new bad boy of comic books.
No big deal.
There we go. Fire Guy.
But no, Black Panther's fun. It feels distinct. It's got its own kind of vibe. It's the music, the locations, the cast, the technology. This movie just stands on its own, and I appreciate that. It makes it easier to just watch by itself.
It's a beautiful movie.
It is.
Yeah, replayability, absolutely there.
And it's a little dark, but the fact that Chadwick is no longer with us gives this movie a little bit more of a gravitas to it, and like the fact that this is his movie, and like, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more special.
It really does. Every time I watch it, every time it's on, you think that's same exact thing. Next on your list, oh my gosh, what did you put on here? Let's see. We have... All right. This is where it gets a little rocky. Okay, so at number 8, you're putting Guardians of the Galaxy
correct
on the list. Please explain. I enjoyed the movie.
I'm almost more interested to hear why this was left off of your list entirely, because that was a surprise to me.
Forgettable.
This movie's fun.
You want to know what's fun? Every other movie on my list.
Oh man,
they're all fun. I need more than fun. And I especially need more than like kind of slapstick humor, just kind of, 80s music. Wow.
Exactly. The soundtrack
it's cool.
for this movie is fantastic.
Hey, I get it, and I know why people liked it, but I'm just like,
it's definitely
show more Groot. I don't know.
I guess.
But you tell me, this isn't my list.
Why just the right amount of?
Why is this on your list?
It's fun. It's funny. It's different. It's and at the same time, it's sentimental. It's got this kind of lost childhood kind of undercurrent of the Star-Lord story. Mm-hmm. It's James Gunn.
Yeah, it is a quality movie.
Correct.
Yes, absolutely.
And this isn't even something I think I would usually be drawn to. I don't particularly care for any Guardians comics.
Same.
But something about this movie is very fun to me. I had a great experience in this at the theater, and I think honestly, like the very first scene of him singing and dancing with "Come and Get Your Love" and just being an idiot, and that just sets the tone. And I don't know, it's an experience. I love this movie.
Andy, just killing the role. All right. Oh, okay.
This is another one that was not on your list, right?
Why is this on your list?
To be fair, I have not seen No Way Home.
Why is number 7?
I have not seen
Spider-Man No Way Home, Ryan.
I have not seen that movie yet. No Way Home. This is
excuse me, Homecoming. My bad. Correct. My bad. I haven't seen No Way Home yet?
I have not seen. I read about it. I know what happens.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I spoiled myself.
But Homecoming?
Right. I think it's better than Far From Home.
Right. Okay. Comic fam, I need to see you in the chat. What is this? Homecoming made your top 10?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm surprised by that. Okay, please explain. Please explain, Ryan.
This is not counting the new one, which I still have not seen, which I'm sure would be on my list if I had. Mm-hmm. This might be my favorite overall Spider-Man movie. I'm not a fan of the Tobey Maguire films.
You don't like the Tobey Maguire films?
I mean, I respect them for what they did, but I haven't gone back and watched them in ages and ages and ages.
Okay.
I don't particularly like him or his performance.
Is it okay? So, do you have a bias because you really like the Spider-Man games? Because I just got a PS5 last week.
You did?
I got one.
How come? Oh, it's probably good that you didn't tell me that.
I wanted to wait till we were on the mic. Authenticity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a call from Comic Pops, Mafaja, and he's like, I don't even know. He's busy this day. He's supposed to be doing stuff. And he calls me. He's like, oh, I'm driving back from GameStop. Tom, they have PS5s. Like, he just stopped what he was doing, went to GameStop, and he's like, they have 5 left. So I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to get a PS5, it sounds like this is the time. So I went and got it. And they make you get 3 games as part of the package. And one of the games is Miles Morales Spider-Man. So that's what I've been playing.
Does that include the original Spider-Man game as well? Or is
it doesn't.
Just, okay, that kind of sucks.
It's just Miles Morales. And I'm having a blast playing it. Is your love for playing Spider-Man in the virtual world affecting your list here today? Damn it, Ryan.
Not necessarily, no. I just think this is a very good movie. I really like what Tom Holland does. I think his portrayal of both Spider-Man and Peter Parker just has a ring of authenticity to it that something was missing from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire that Tom Holland taps into.
I like Tom Holland Spider-Man the most, but I think Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is more Peter Parker in my brain.
Sure, that's what everyone says. I think he's a big
It's
lead.
what everyone says.
Also, Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool,
phenomenal in this movie.
Okay, well, I can't believe that's on your list. Comic fam, let me know what you think about this nonsense. All right, what is this? Civil War.
This was the only Captain America movie missing from... No, you only picked the first one last time.
I only picked the first one.
Right.
This ranks up there for me too. So,
Going back and thinking about this
not
movie,
number 6, but it
I have a
ranks
soft spot for Captain America. Let that be known. Like, if you didn't know that about me already, I quite enjoy Captain America, especially Ed Brubaker's Captain America.
Yeah, I used to love Ed Brubaker.
I do. He's my crush. But anyway, Civil War.
Civil War.
Yes, there's a lot in here that when you see this movie and you see, especially when you see the first appearance of Spider-Man in this movie, you get like a sense for exactly what Infinity War and like Endgame is going to feel like.
What's coming?
Right.
I
And
know
you got
that's why I
airport
like
battle
it.
entirely is almost like the main reason this is even on here. That
Yeah.
with Giant Man, freaking Falcon flying everywhere.
You know, throwing just heroes across the
Vision's cutting loose with his
everything.
laser beams. Like a lot of stuff happens during that battle, but also just the underlying conflict over Bucky Barnes and like the conflict between Captain America and Iron Man in this movie has a lot of.
It's powerful.
It's hard, like in the comic book, it's hard to pick one side or the other because you can see they both have merits. And I think this movie is a little better. Like Iron Man 3, I think it's a little bit better than people remember. When it came out, there was a lot of disappointment that it was not the comic story, just like with Mandarin and Iron Man 3. And that's kind of going to be a theme of our show today is not getting too hyped about something and letting that color your perception when it actually drops.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Hit the subscribe. Slap the like button, comic fam. We have almost 100 people live with us on a Sunday. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. It goes far. You support what we do. And next one on Ryan's list is this number 5. You have Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
I do.
Okay, cool. I'm happy that you have a bunch of Cap on here.
Correct.
Because if you have enough Cap on here but don't have Captain America 1,
Spoilers.
I'm going to be pissed.
I don't. That's not on my list.
Okay.
I don't appreciate the war story of that movie. I find it kind of boring.
All right. Well,
I do.
Ryan thinks
War movies aren't my thing.
Golden
They're
Age
fine.
Cap,
Yeah, no.
World War II is boring.
I much prefer modern Cap. I much prefer, like I was just saying, Ed Brubaker stuff. This is Winter Soldier. This is the creation.
This is Bucky Barnes.
This is like a direct adaptation of the Ed Brubaker Captain America run,
Yeah.
which is very special to me. I really love that comic.
It's such a fun movie.
It is. The movie's really good. The movie works on different layers. It's like a great superhero movie, but it's also got that kind of like spy political thriller tone with Robert Redford, and like it's just a cool movie. I enjoy it, and they gave Black Widow a lot to do in this movie too, which is nice, especially in retrospect.
Absolutely. Okay, I like it. Your list so far, Ryan, isn't that like outlandish to me?
Okay.
Okay, Endgame.
I don't feel like you can't like
Number 4 is Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
You
I
can't
get
not
that.
have Endgame on here. I
No,
feel like.
it needs to be on
That's the
everyone's
payoff.
list. Yeah, I'd be questioning.
Do I have to explain this? Like,
No.
Like it's Endgame.
I think if there's one thing to mention is just in case anyone didn't watch the last show when I talked about Endgame, you said something very authentic. You said, whatever point in your life it was where you were waiting for Endgame, you said, as long as this is a quote, comic fam, this is what Ryan said.
Yes.
As long as I don't die before Endgame premieres, everything will be okay. There we go. So we have Avengers Endgame sitting at number 4 for all the reasons we chatted about last week.
Sure. I don't remember where it ranked on your list. You might have been.
It was could have been number 4 or 3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right around there. Okay.
Although. There you
Great.
go.
Okay, next one. Thor Ragnarok at number 3. This was my number 10. I really like Thor Ragnarok. Just ranking in the top 10 is a big deal.
A big part of your list was, we're basing this off of, what is it, like which ones you enjoy, which ones you could rewatch.
Right.
I find this one easier to jump into, especially compared to Endgame. I could throw this movie on, but Endgame, I feel like you have to watch the whole MCU first. Or, dedicate 4 hours of your whole day.
There you go. Thor Ragnarok was like,
this movie's fun.
Just Hulk. I mean, there's not enough Hulk in the MCU because he's always accompanied in. Right, he's legal stuff with him. Yeah. So I felt like this is like the closest we got, really, besides his arc that went through all throughout the course of the Avengers movies. What the hell? Wait a minute.
This is not a mistake.
Hold on.
This is my number 1.
You put Thor Ragnarok on number 2, and your number 1 is...
My number 1 MCU project.
Oh, on a technicality.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Because in between Hawkeye happened. I
don't even care.
You son of a bitch.
I don't care.
Oh, my God.
I knew you would get mad.
Oh, this is crap.
Daredevil,
this is crap, but I get it.
I will stand by it.
I get it.
This show is phenomenal.
You pulled a fast one on me, Ryan.
Right. I like this more than any MCU movie. And I recently... After watching Hawkeye, I went back and restarted all of the Netflix Daredevil, the Netflix MCU stuff. I'm currently in Defenders right now, by the way, which is not so.
Yeah, you were telling me that Iron Fist, you actually like now have now having rewatched it so recently that you like it differently.
I haven't seen it since it first came out, and I don't know if maybe because I watched it so fast. I watched it in like 2 sittings while doing Mystery Mail Call stuff.
Right.
All week.
There we go.
But Iron Fist isn't as bad as I remember. But Daredevil is on a whole different level.
It's superb, and technically speaking, yes,
and especially after No Way Home and Hawkeye with Kingpin stuff, like this is officially canon now, and I don't care. Like I love this show. I love this show so much. Like watching the rise of Kingpin and like all of just his performance specifically, like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin was like inspired casting, and the role the way he does that whole show. The stunt work, the hallway scenes, like the fights, the choreography in this show. And then like in season 2, when they bring in Jon Bernthal as Punisher, like that just elevates everything. Like I think he's terrific.
Comic fam, hit the like, stop, and subscribe. This is Ryan's list. It doesn't have to be your list. It sure as hell isn't mine. He technically gave you his top 10, even though the challenge wasn't to include any of the Netflix stuff, and it wasn't to include prior Marvel movies, because I would have put Blade on my list if if it was part of continuity.
If you were cheating like I was.
Yeah, so this is like a top 10 with an asterisk.
9.5.
9.5. But we want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What is your top pick? What's your 10th pick? What's your list? Whatever you want to put.
Starting the auction off at $1 for 1 minute, like we always do.
This is one of our favorite covers, and you got it.
A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right? A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right?